Guitarist, and today is Monday, October 11th, 2021. I'm joined this morning by our studio technician, Rich Klinsman, owner-operator of Step Beyond Media, and fellow host, Tiffany Jahorik, owner-operator of Crystal Meadow Farms, for the recording of our 7th episode of Cowboy Coffee with Coaches, a podcast created to promote and recognize our student athletes, focusing on the high school varsity teams, their coaches, and mentors. Thank you for being here, and thank you to our listeners for stepping in. We hope you enjoy our show here. Also joining us in this wonderful studio, which is provided to us by Lucas Turner in the Rio Blanco Herald Times building on the corner of 4th and Main Streets in beautiful downtown Meeker, Colorado. Our Meeker girls softball coach, Kendall Bergman, welcome, and Meeker Marlins USA team coach of the year, Shelly Rogers. Welcome to both of you. We'll interview them in our second segment. Last week was a busy week for Meeker as it was homecoming 2021. We had games in volleyball, football, and our team ran in cross country. We did not have softball games. I'll let Tiffany explain that and also give us the results of what did happen here this last weekend. Thanks, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you. So I think we'll touch on softball when we get to Kendall, but because, again, Basalt did forfeit their games to the Meeker Cowboys. Volleyball remains undefeated in the season. They're 13-0. They had a pretty good weekend. Friday, they were playing North Fork just like football did. They won those sets 25-17, 25-18, somewhere around in there. And then Saturday, they hosted DeBeck. They held DeBeck each set to under 10 points. And it was, and interesting enough, North Fork is actually not a conference game, but DeBeck was. So.
Okay, I didn't know if it was vice versa on that.
Yep. So. Yeah. Emma, racked up a lot of kills. Sarah was awesome in serve receive, and Aspen and all the girls just did really good. And they're really coming together as a team.
Really coming together as a team. You can tell how they're playing.
Their communication's improving. Their placement is improving. How they're covering defensively is improving. They're doing really good. It was a big game for football. We really needed this win so we could head towards the league title, and the Cowboys came out fighting big time. The defense was awesome. We held them to 13 points. We scored 30, so we took the win by 17 points, which is great because the 14-point win is really what is needed for RPI. It was primarily a running game. We had two quarterbacks, Liam Deming Liam Deming a little bit, Connor Blunt primarily. Each of them only had one pass the entire game. Right. So it really was. Kelton Turner had 256 yards. But one of the big things, again, was the defense. Mordecai White is one of the top-ranked kick returners in the state, and we really held him back. And Carter Neff is ranked in the top 10 tacklers, all school, all classes, and we held him to 7 tackles. So the offense really did a good job, too.
Good blocking, yes.
Good blocking, yep. Zach Eskelson and Judd Harvey each recovered a fumble, which was awesome.
Yes.
We had 4 boys in double-digit tackles. Zach Eskelson led the team with 17. Elijah LeBlanc and Kelton Turner each had 14. And then Zach Simonson had 12. So those boys were really working hard.
Did we have an interception? Powell?
Yep.
Trenton Powell had an interception, I think, there on the sideline there.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
And then somebody caused a fumble, and I believe it was Liam.
Right.
I think Liam caused it, and one of the other boys picked it up. I'm not sure which one it was. But again, Kelton had 256 yards. He also had 3 touchdowns. Porter Hosick had 25 yards. Connor Blunt had 14 yards and 1 touchdown. And then Liam Deming led with kick returns with 35 yards.
Well, good. I got an email from Coach Marty Casey, the cross-country coach. He said the team was in Aspen at the Chris Servey Invitational. Said it was kind of cool. Intermittent sprinkles made it a little kind of tough running at times. He said Brighton Bear was the first girl to finish for Meeker. She was in 20th place. Kelly Stout ran the course in 37 minutes, 36 seconds. And for the girls, Eddie Drussel was the first cowboy to cross the line for the boys. Our coach said, wrote that he held out two competitors right at the end to finish 26th and ran the course in 22 minutes, 59 seconds. Gabe Smithers was second for the team to cross the line. Wyatt Rollins was behind him, and Owen Henneman also ran the race. Coach was quoted as writing, "We certainly do not expect top times at Aspen, but the scenery is worth the trade, and I'm sure it was nice." Coach wrote that they'll be competing or running in rifle on Wednesday the 13th. So
Great.
That's what we have going there. We will take a little break, and we will come back with an interview with Meeker High School girls softball coach Kendall Bergman.
Yep.
Be right back. All right, and welcome back. We are now joined with Meeker girls softball coach Kendall Bergman. We're going to have Tiffany ask her a few questions. Big week coming up as postseason play is getting ready to start.
Yeah, but I think before we get into postseason play, we need to talk about the senior girls a little bit.
Deal.
They kind of got gypped last weekend by not getting their formal and official, senior night with their parents. So can you just talk about them a little bit?
Oh yeah, I know Clark definitely didn't want to make that phone call, and I didn't want to receive it when we found out that Basalt needed to forfeit. I think they were struggling with numbers, but it was just hard to try to figure out what to do because everyone wants a senior night, and I know with last year some people didn't get it either. So we tried to make the best of it, and luckily we just have the most amazing parents on top of the most amazing girls. So they were able to just come together and make it such a fun night still. We were able to talk about our seniors, give them their presents, their recognition. The parents still had that opportunity to tell the kids what they wanted to. And then we ended up having like an awesome game of kickball. So it was really fun.
And who are the seniors?
So we have Haley Knowles. Tom Knowles has been helping with the team, and he was there, and Holly Knowles, and then her younger sister, Addie, were all there to support her. And then Michaela Willie, Mike and Tara were there with her, and then her two brothers and Cassidy, who's also on the team, were there. And Macy had a whole crew with her, which was awesome. So her dad, DJ, and his wife, Beth, were there to support her. Madison has been helping manage the team, so she was there too. So it was really special for them. What great connections, the whole girls. And I was standing to their back, so I couldn't see them, and I walked around, and next thing you know, just everyone was bawling. I mean, some of these girls only met this year too. So to build like that strong of a relationship and a bond over just that short of a season just really shows what great group of gals we have. So it was really fun.
Sports do kind of. How they bring everybody together.
Definitely.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the whole season, kind of wrap it up. It was a rough start with Rifle picking them up at the first game of the season, but the kids have really improved. The team has really come together. They're playing well. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. It was hard because this was probably one of the first summers that we were able to have our high school team play together in the summer. So kind of hoping to eliminate that slow start that we're halfway known for. And so, it still took us a little bit to start playing as a team, but it eventually kicked in and it's been going great. It was just tough with those numerous losses right at the start because I think 5 of them were only lost by 1 run.
Right.
Completely heartbreaking. Extra innings too, and just everyone trying to give their heart, but just learning like we can always give a little bit more, like always make that next play, always just do a little bit more. And so that finally clicked, luckily, when league started. And then we had like you were saying, like 2 or 3 home games canceled. So we only had a few scheduled anyways. And then to have those canceled, we're pretty hard on the girls too, and just constantly traveling. I mean, I know every team travels, but like, dang, we travel a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've
And
never
far to the far reaches of the world, like Willie was saying, you guys had to go to Cortez, not right?
Right. Well, yep. We went to Durango first. I mean, if we're already going down there, might as well snap on some other teams and
Get
some
the
other
four
games.
corners.
So Durango and Cortez, and then even Gunnison was pretty, it's a pretty good jaunt down
yeah.
there. So I'm just glad they didn't give up, and they can get off and a 7-hour bus ride and get the job done, which is so impressive. And just you can see the leadership and even the sophomores leading the team along with the seniors, and just everybody working really well together. And we're able to, fine tune the lineup and the defensive roles. So that's really been great with all of them. And we have so many girls that can play everywhere, which is amazing. So
Did you bring any stats with you? No.
Oh, I wrote them all out too.
It's okay. It's all right. We know that Haley and Bree did most of the pitching, right?
Yes. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, I can't
And
believe it.
Macy, and Michaela and Ryan Mergelman. Haley, again, had some big bats. So, yeah.
It's all my So we've got Haley really stepped up this year, up to bat. I mean, she's always been a great pitcher, but her hitting has become so reliable and amazing. So that's why she's hitting number 2 to just get her way more at bats, and she's seen the ball really well. Michaela's hitting cleanup right now for the last few weeks and been amazing. I mean, with runners in scoring position, there's nobody better right now, and so much confidence up there. And like, I feel bad for the other team sometimes. I'm just sitting at third, just smiling. I'm like, oh, good, got another one up to bat. Double with the whole lineup. The junior, also Reagan Hafey's up there with, I think she's leading the team with average right now, and just super consistent too. Yeah, the lineup's been amazing, and Bree has been doing amazing. And just, I love how different Haley and Bree are pitching, but for them to pitch whole games without
Almost all of the games have been whole games.
yeah, which is super impressive. And so they get used to Bree, or after 4 at bats, they might start seeing her finally, but then they go to Haley, and who's totally different, and it takes a while to adjust to both of them, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
And they get better later in innings.
So off camera, we've been talking a little bit about postseason and looking at who gets to host. So the top 8 teams in the state host. Right now, we really don't know where Meeker's sitting. We were looking at last week, and we're sitting at number 15. It'll probably come, the minute we come off camera, I'm guessing it'll probably come out from Chassa exactly where we're sitting. But so if we say we're sitting at 14, what are our predictions on where we're going for postseason?
We're just looking. Okay, so if we're, so you said if we're 15, we'd go to Eaton.
Eaton.
Way out there in Northeast.
Over by Greeley.
Right, yeah. So we'd go there, and we'd play, it would be 2 and 31, 15 and 18. And so I think how the bracket goes is we would need to win the first game to qualify for state, since 16 teams would go to state. And then also try and play again to win like our little league or a district champ there, regional playoff champion. So it'd be very exciting. I know they've talked about it. They've been league champs before and have gone to state before, but I mean, you can never go to state too many times. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
Why not do it again?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and then if we're number 14 with the wins against Basalt, because they did count as wins, we should move up in the rankings. Who knows what's going to happen that top 8? But if it looks like maybe Sterling is where the team might go.
Right, and even if we can get 1 or 2 more spots with how everything falls after this and coaches poll comes into play, yeah, you never know where we could end up, but a little higher would be a little better.
Yeah, it would.
And then we're not playing it, like 16 and 17, that's a tough spot because you're playing probably somebody with your exact same record, and that'd be probably pretty close, but I think we are playing our best ball right at the right time, which is very good timing. Good timing.
It's good coaching.
Yeah, so that we'll definitely post that on Facebook on where you guys will be going and letting everybody know. And Kendall, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. And I just, again, want to thank everybody for everything that you guys have done. Just helping me navigate this whole coaching thing. And, it's so much more than just being on the field, which I'm learning. I couldn't have asked for a better group of girls. The seniors help lead the team and make my job pretty easy. And the whole roster, everyone. I mean, I could sit here and just talk hours about every single one of the girls. I'm just so proud of them. Everybody's been doing amazing. The coaching staff, Eric Brown, has been so amazing. I got you, Eric. Sorry. I forgot to mention him over the weekend, but I couldn't do without him. He keeps me sane, and like he's so level-headed, and I get pretty emotional. So it definitely is good balance.
Yes.
Tom Knowles has been great too, and Crandall Mergelman out of Rangeley has been helping also.
And then the there's another girl. What's her name?
Oh, and Ann Baker. Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Like,
Yep, she's new
Yeah.
to Meeker and just has such a love for softball as me. So it's so great to have her around. The girls love her, and she really forces the girls to like take another step up of play when even we go play with them, which is pretty fun. So
good.
yeah.
Good.
And thanks again. We've mentioned several times how our coaches, a number of our coaches are not employed by the school district and
Right.
take the time out of their day and work to coach our kids. And
Yeah.
it's great. Appreciate it. And
Thank you
thank you
guys.
very much for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you guys so
Yep,
much. I
thank you
appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back in a bit with
Yes.
Shelly Rogers.
Thank you. Hello, welcome back. We are again joined with Tiffany and Meeker Marlins USA Swim Team Coach of the Year, Shelly Rogers. Welcome, Shelly. Thanks for being here with us today. Would like to get a little background. One first, congratulations on that honor. We'll talk about that a little bit more here soon. But if you would kind of give us a little background of where you grew up, went to school, college, and maybe what sports you played during that time.
Okay, well, I grew up in Manchester, Massachusetts, and moved to Maine, so that's where I went to high school, was Boothbay Harbor, Maine.
Oh, wow.
It was a small school, just like Meeker. We had
Cool.
48 in my graduating class, so used to small town.
Good.
I played field hockey. I swam and I ran track all 4 years. In high school, I went to Boston College, where I swam as well there. And then went to Connecticut College for my first master's and CU for my second master's degree, both in psychology.
Wow, good for you. And you've been in Meeker how long?
Oh gosh, almost 20 years.
Well, good for you. And you've always been involved. Maybe tell us a little bit of your involvement. You're currently working with the rec district, and maybe what your position is there and kind of your duties. But
Yeah. When I first moved here, I was in charge of a grant. It was called CKID, Colorado Kids Ignore Drugs, where I taught a class at the middle school, a class at the high school, worked with, at the time, Dondi, and it was Build a Generation bag. From there, I became the high school counselor. I then commuted to Rifle and was a counselor at Highland Elementary. And when my son Cole got a little bit older, I couldn't commute anymore because I was missing all his stuff.
Right.
And so started working for the rec district.
good for you.
I'm now manager of the recreation department.
All right, good for you. And you mentioned swimming in college, and you've been coaching our local team. Maybe tell us some of that, and for how long you've been doing that, and how the season went this year.
Okay. In 1999, when I moved here, I started coaching the USA swim team. It's when we had the pool that is doesn't exist anymore, the world's coldest pool. It lacked on windows at the top.
Right.
And then we didn't have a pool for a few years, so I stopped coaching. And then when the rec district built their new building in the pool, I started coaching again.
Well, good. And okay. So you say it's USA swim team, and this year the season lasted how long? And you had 6 kids qualify for the state meet. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. USA Swimming has 2 seasons. They have a summer season and a year-long season. We're a summer season. So we technically can't get in the water until the beginning of April. And we typically don't get in the water until the end of May because of the closure the pool has. We do some preseason work, but then we have a break. We are on the Western Slope. We swim against a lot of year-round teams when we compete, and that just makes us a little bit tougher.
Good.
Yeah, and every year USA has a summer seasonal state meet where it's only summer teams that we swim against.
Okay.
This year we went to Lamar, which is as Kendall was saying, we have to travel so far for these,
Lamar's
meets
down
or
in the
games,
southeast
et cetera.
corner.
Yes, and you have to qualify for state, and so I had 6 swimmers qualify. I had 4 that their goal for the entire summer was to get the state record in the Medley relay, and they've been working for that. We went to Lamar. They swam well. Our caps, which if you don't know about swimming, your caps are what define you as a team. Yes, we have matching suits, but when you're in the water, that's all you see are the caps. And so we have white caps with the Meeker Marlins logo on them. And it was pretty cool because in the breaststroke race, I had all the swimmers swimming it. They all qualified. And ironically, they were all in a different heat, and they won every one of their heats. And at one point, one of the timers said, just let Meeker win them all. It was really cool because they just won every heat, and then Saeed actually won the event. So it was really cool. And so we made a splash. We really were noticed in Lamar.
And you
With
did
just
make a
6
splash,
swimmers.
and those kids that set that goal to set the state record, they did set a state record.
They did.
A record that was set in 2000, so 21-year-old record.
Very cool.
Who was on that team? You said it was the 200-yard medley. What are those strokes? Tell us who was on that team.
So the medley relay, it goes back, breast, fly, and free. It's a 200, so they each swim a 50, which is 2 lengths or 1 lap, depending how you think about it, of the pool. So in backstroke, we had Dexter Chin.
Okay.
And then breaststroke, we had Saeed. Fly was Tucker. And then freestyle was Jonan Van Ryn.
Jonah Van Ryn. Okay. And they set the record, the state record,
They did.
again. Also, you mentioned there were 6 kids that qualified for the state meet. Saeed's brother Gael, as well as Fletcher Chin,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so they also had won some individual honors at the state meet. Is that correct?
They did.
Maybe tell us what those were.
Yeah, they do overall in each age group an overall winner. And so you have to get high point is what it really means. It's high point overall. And so in the 6 and unders, Fletcher got first place, which is super cool. He's been swimming since he was 4. His parents said, well, if he's got to go to the swim meets because of his brothers, he might as well swim.
That's Fletcher Chin,
Yes,
right?
Fletcher Chin. And so, he got first. And what's super cool is in the 11, 12-year-old boys, Tucker Chin got second, and Saeed Rodriguez got third. And the first place winner was a guy from Delta. So the top 3 boys, 11, 12, were all from the Western Slope, and there were only 3 teams representing the Western Slope at the state championship. So, Western Slope took it.
Good deal. And they also, you took, or Meeker Marlins took the small team championship trophy.
That's right. Yes, and we are a small team of 6. And so at the state meet, they do divide the teams into small, medium, and large teams. And then that's how they determine the team championship. So
Okay, and to make it a clean sweep, you were given the Coach of the Year. Congratulations on
thank you
that.
so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of that because anybody can nominate someone to be Coach of the Year. Coaches can do it, swimmers, parents, but the vote is taken by the coaches. And what's really neat is, like I said, there were only 3 Western Slope teams there, and there were I don't know how many teams, 30 teams overall, and they're voted by the coaches that weekend. And they don't know me. They only know what they see on deck that weekend.
Right.
So for me to get Coach of the Year voted by other coaches, my own peers, is really cool.
Yes, it is. And very good.
Hey, so quickly, let's talk to, because we talk a lot about feeder programs, and we talk and swim team actually has a feeder program into USA Swimming. So there's USA Swimming, but there's also Meeker Youth Swimming, which is, they're both the Marlins. But so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Most swim teams have feeder programs to their higher level. They might be called, red, white, and blue, or they might have minnow, dolphin, shark, and so we have Meeker Youth Swimming, and then we have USA. And so really the developmental part of the team is through Meeker Youth Swimming. And then we decide as coaches when they're ready to go up to USA. It's just a whole level. It's a whole different commitment, mentally, physically.
Sure.
There's more practices. It's longer. It's a bigger commitment for the families. I'm really proud of Gael Rodriguez. He worked his way up from Meeker Youth Swimming into USA. So that's the feeder program.
Right. And these kids, they don't just jump in the pool and swim back and forth a few times. You're swimming 1 to 2 miles every day.
That's exactly right. And Tiffany would know because she had sons who swam on the swim team, and they come home with sore shoulders.
The big shoulders.
I tell the kids, this is a tough sport because any other sport, you get to breathe. But in swimming, you have to hold your breath while working your hardest. The other thing about swimming, like this year, our motto was, when you physically get tired, use your heart and use your head. You're in that water and you're working your hardest, and you don't have anyone next to you saying, come on, you got this, keep it up. Because your head's in the water. You can't hear each other. And so it's really a mental sport. And I'm so proud of all the kids that have swam for me in the past, now, and hopefully in the future.
Well, good, and it all builds up to the honors and winning the championships and the honors of the Coach of the Year and stuff is when you're putting a good program together. And thanks for what you do in doing that.
Thank you. And
Good
like
job.
Tiffany said, they do swim miles. They swim miles, but what I've always preached, and my coach in college told me the same thing. It's not about how many laps you do. It's about your technique. And that's what we stress. You can do the wrong stroke over and over and over. You're never going to get better. It's all about the technique, and then taking that correct technique and then putting in the mileage.
There you go.
Yep, it is. Yeah. Well, thank you, Shelly, for joining us today.
Yes.
Thanks, Tiff.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Bobby.
much, and congratulations, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll be right back where Tiffany will update us on upcoming schedule as well as announce our Student Athlete of the Week.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello, welcome back. I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany, who will update us on the upcoming games, our schedule, as well as announce who the Student Athlete of the Week is. Tiffany?
Yeah, thanks, Bobby. So, again, we've been updating the chassis screen to see when and where sophomore might play. I guess we do know when. They're going to be playing Saturday someplace. We just don't know where yet. Depends on what the ranking says. They'll travel Friday, Coach Bergman said, and then play on Saturday. So good luck, girls.
Yes.
Volleyball has some big games this week. We play North Park. North Park is going to be a tough team. They actually beat West Grand, who was 9-2 when we played them. We made them 9-3. And so they take on North Park this week. They'll play.
And where's that at?
That will be Thursday in Walden, but actually the team will play here tomorrow at 4 o'clock against Grand Valley.
Okay.
Thursday in Walden, and then Friday back home against Olathe, which is another important league matchup. And Coach Cravens is planning on coming next week to talk about the games because we hopefully, cross our fingers, should have sealed the league by the end of this week.
They're playing good.
Yeah, they
Okay,
are
so-
playing good. Yeah.
Yes.
So then in football, we make the long trip to Gunnison this week. The game is at a different time this week, so everybody take note because it is so far away. They're playing at 6 p.m., not 7 p.m.
In Friday night.
Friday night in Gunnison. Gunnison is actually currently undefeated. They're 7-0. If you look at their schedule, they've not played they've not played Buena Vista, they've not played Lyman, they've not played Centauri or Strasburger.
And haven't they played some 8-man kind of moving?
Is Del Norte one of those?
I think so.
Yes, and Dove Creek, right?
Yes.
And they have played them.
Okay.
Both of them.
Right, because Dove Creek is ranked in 8-man. But
Right. They beat Grand Valley
How do
17.
you do that?
It would be kind of like
Okay.
so you play offense, 11-man, 8-man defense.
Yes. But what size is the
Seriously,
field? That's what confuses me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, my
Because,
word.
they're different size fields, so whatever.
Yeah.
They have played Grand Valley. They beat them 17-7.
Okay.
They played Olathe and beat them 51-8. Olathe's not won a game this year.
Uh-oh.
And they beat Cedar Edge 2 weeks ago, 35-0.
Have we played Cedar Ridge yet?
We did, and if you remember, we had our JV in pretty much the second half of the game.
Yeah, I think the clock started to run with 3 or 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
It did, yeah.
Injury-wise, how did we come out of that game the other night?
Our boys are doing good. They're
Okay.
healthy. I don't believe. We may have some twisted fingers or something like that. I think that North Fork may not have fared as well as Meeker in that one. Yeah, I think that there were some bad knee injuries
Yeah, there
actually
was
on a couple of the
bad
boys.
ones.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So anyway, it'll be a good game. So we play Gunnison, who's in our league now. Then football will play Olathe at home the next weekend. But I think that, by the end of this week, we should know how league, because we are tied right now at number 1 in the league with Gunnison.
All right.
So
Well, good. And
it's a big
then
game.
cross country.
And then cross country, they are running Wednesday the 13th, which is this Wednesday in Rifle.
Okay.
So good luck, boys and girls, on them. So then for our Meeker Athlete of the Week, we have chosen Brighton Bear.
All right.
She is a junior cross-country runner, and Coach said that she's been training hard and running well. She has her eye on regionals and is looking towards state. Her parents are Kim and Dan Bear, and so congratulations, Brighton.
Yes, congratulations, Brighton. And the regional tournament or the regional meet is the 22nd of this month. So that's coming.
20s.
coming
Oh,
up.
okay. So that's,
Yes.
coming right up in a week
Coming-
and a half.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I think that's going to kind of be a wrap. Again, thank you, Shelly.
Yeah.
Thanks to Kendall Bergman for showing up. Rich, thank you very much for keeping us on task here. And Tiffany,
Yep.
thank you. Good luck, Cowboys.
Yeah. Good luck.
Go get them.
Thanks.